Conscious Convo live chat of 2026. I'm
Yeah.
Ariel,
And I'm Shannon.
and we are Mystic Sister.
Mystic sister, baby.
Yeah. Today's going to tell us who Mystic Sister is, who we are, for those of us who are just joining us, joining the party.
So we've been doing a few live chats, especially in the past, and you can check out some of our writings. But basically, as Mystic Sister, we are a colorful group of women, and we share our love of metaphysical arts, holistic wellness, self-love, and spirituality. And as a way to nurture our creativity and connection with one another. And like I said, we've been reintroducing ourselves, so you can check out some of our writings here on Substack. Our latest one was a holiday edition, which, even though the holidays are over, it's still a ton of fun and it's a way to get to know us.
Very nostalgic conversation in
Yeah.
that blog.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I feel good. Been up early as I am every day, no matter if it's a day off. I'm up usually at the same time, just getting into my rhythm, getting into my routine so I can feel ready to show up like I am here with you. So,
Sure.
yeah, feeling good. Got some coffee in my cup. How about you, girl?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty grounded, slow and steady kind of energy, and just getting through the day. It's going to be a long week. Last week was a long week. So I'm just really pacing myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chasing
hmm
grace. How's the weather been down there in the South where you are?
Colder than I would like.
Not your favorite season.
And the wind was crazy. I think that was really like to the point that it was dangerous, like
Yeah.
trees falling over, people losing power and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that wind was crazy, but not that I need an excuse to journal and do puzzles and crochet, but it was perfect background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really wintry and white over here. Very icy, really terrible conditions. Not a lot of the snow and ice has been cleared from these neighborhoods. So it's been really
Yeah.
a struggle for us here up east
Yeah.
in these parts. But nonetheless, like just continuing to embrace this winter season, which is all about slowing down and
hmm
ourselves still.
I'm just glad you guys didn't get more snow, which I
I,
felt like they were predicting over the weekend because they were saying that even for us.
yeah.
I was like,
I was
it
like,
ain't about to be
okay.
no snow, but I'm glad y'all didn't get any more.
Yes, same girl. So yeah, feeling good. So yeah, in today's conversation, we are going to be covering and reflecting on the astrology, the Chinese astrology, the numerology, the tarot, and the elemental themes that have been woven through 2025. And then that magic that we're working with now in 2026 that we have arrived. And just sharing our intentions and projections of how we want to work with this energy and these themes for this year through the year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, every year collectively, the themes of astrology and numerology are all woven together and seemingly very harmonious. So, just to start out, we had a universal year 9 for 2025. If you do all the math of it all, 2025 reduces to the number 9. And numerologically, 9 represents completions, the ending of cycles. And 9, it signifies a phase of death and rebirth. It holds within, 9 holds within that wisdom of previous cycles and previous seasons of life. So, yeah, this energy has been very on point for 2025. Lots of things coming to an end, lots of things falling apart collectively and maybe even personally. And the 9 also, it vibrates with this energy of the abundance of compassion and empathy and spiritual wisdom and humanitarianism. And just personally, what I've really been reflecting on for this collective year, this past year, is we've really been witnessing a lot for some time now but a lot more this past year. Like all of the injustices and the suffering and the tragedies and the horrors that have been happening, not just in the world, but like in our own communities. And so I'm really hoping that, you know, the year nine really collectively called everyone to really reach into their hearts and reflect on how we want to share that love and compassion with our communities and maybe even the world around us. And you are born on the ninth. You are a nine energy
Mhm.
embodied. And how do you think the year nine reflected within you personally, or what kind of cycles and endings of chapters and completions were coming through for you this past year? Would you say?
Yeah, last year, I mean, we had a move, we had new jobs, we had lots of new opportunities, new experiences. It was new, new, new. All things that I think that we wanted, things that we
Mhm.
manifested, and then it happened, and it was really exciting, and then, like, simultaneously ended.
Yeah.
So, like, all those new opportunities that were sparked also ended, and that was really challenging, and I think, just being, like, a 9 and kind of carrying the energy of, like, constantly reflecting, constantly questioning, not really looking at those experiences as good or bad,
Mhm.
and this is, like, outside of hold on. Gregory, what's up, baby? I told you my podcast is starting, so I can't keep coming to the door. What you need? You gotta figure it out. I put the breakfast out there. You gotta figure out what you wanna put on your plate, okay? Alright. Um,
Pause for mom time.
yeah, Greg is out of town, so he'll probably be back. Um, but, and, like, this is outside of just being a person because there are definitely, like, a lot of emotions that were around
Yeah.
the highs and the lows that were going on, so it wasn't like I'm just like, "Oh, I don't see this as bad or good," like, absolutely, I was in the feelings, but, like, just I guess, metaphysically or just how I am energetically, a
Mhm.
lot of it was just observation and questioning and wondering and like, how does this align?
Mhm.
Why is this maybe happening? What lessons are being learned here? So like it was a lot of that kind of thinking. And I think as a collective year nine, I think a lot of that was happening too.
Yeah.
It was just it's hard to quantify if the things that happened over the past year were good or bad because what one person saw as a tragedy, someone else is seeing as a win. But what
Right.
I can definitely say is there was a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
And I think it brought to people just kind of questioning like, what are we doing here? Like, what's
Mhm.
next? What is the goal? What is the end game here? So, um, it was nice to see that kind of energy because that is the space that I live in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I always love to see people questioning and reflecting and reflecting not in the sense of like, oh, I'm meditating, but just like being in awareness when things are happening. It's not just like, oh, it's just happening to me, but it kind of is just like, like this is making me think. Yeah.
What do I do with this information?
Yeah,
How do I
exactly.
use this information to move forward?
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, you are one of the wisest people I know. You've always carried that, embodied that nine like quality to you, very introspective, going inward to seek what aligns and then figuring out how to use that to better yourself and the people around you. So
Yeah.
shout out to
Thank
you,
you.
Miss Nine.
No idea. But yeah, it was definitely cleansing, a very awakening experience. I mean,
Yeah.
is that something that you were kind of feeling as well? Like, how did
Yeah.
that energy push up against you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm I spend a lot of time on my phone more than I think I personally would like to, but it's been very helpful for me to be observational and then use that and go inward and figure out how does that make me feel and what do I want to do with that information. I've even followed some artist friends of mine who are being extremely vocal and who are being very, very um, loud in the right ways as to how they're using this information to take a stand. And it's been really inspiring personally. And those same artist friends, shout out to my friend Drew, who goes by Virgin. He has been sharing a lot straight from people from Gaza, like sharing their videos, sharing their stories and resources. And I've even gotten in touch with some of these people and been sending a little bit of change here and there when I have it. And that's really just been inspiring to me. I've always been kind of battling with like, how do I give back?
Mhm.
Either to my community around me or to, to speak to what's happening in the world right now. So I have connected with some people and been just keeping in touch with them and donating when I can. So that's
Yeah.
how it kind of affected me this year. But yeah, speaking of, changes and this kind of theme of regeneration and renewal, we were also in a Chinese astrological year of the wood snake. And that always
Mhm.
starts in February and will restart again coming up February the 17th. It's when we begin our new astrological Chinese astrology new year. And the 2025 year of the snake was also in line with this overall theme that the nine was speaking to. And snakes and snake energy, they bring also the symbol of death and rebirth. They're all about reinvention and renewal. And they're a symbol for inner wisdom that's really gained through transformation and growth. So much like that
Mhm.
nightmare, it's all about what needs to die in order for something new to come from that. And they remind us of that, the beauty of embracing change because of their metamorphosis process of shedding the dead skin to
Mhm.
then continue living their lives. And they go through this process a lot, just like shedding what is no longer needed. So that was another theme that really harmonized this year. And also, really teaching us that the real work of transformation happens in the dark. It happens in private. So just going inward to like really look at these messages and integrating our shadows to really find that inner wisdom that's actually within ourselves. And it might be messy, it might be ugly, but once that layers are removed, then we reach those higher states of consciousness and a more truer, newer self is revealed from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything
Definitely.
you've been personally shedding?
I mean, yeah, but like,
Anything you want to
uh,
share? Like,
just just kind of piggybacking off of what you said about like the snake in general. Um, like literally, there are things you have animals, you think of them, and it just like evokes a certain image in your head, based off of whatever your experience has been with them or whatever have you. But like when I think of snakes, I just immediately think of that dead skin. Like it is
yeah,
so incredible to me that they're just like, "Okay, it's time to grow." And then they just like get rid of this entire body and then there is something new and then they are bigger and different all of a sudden. And I don't really know how long that process takes for a
yeah.
snake to shed its skin, but I don't think it's like a super long time. I
Mm.
don't think it's like the same experience as a caterpillar. Like I feel like they're in that chrysalis for a while
And
before they come out. There's like a lot of breakdown that's happening in there before it's built back up. But like the snake is just like, "Mm,
yeah,
let me get that off of me."
okay.
And I think on a grander level, like yes, there were a lot of big changes that happened. Like I said, like we moved,
Yeah.
like that in itself was huge and all the things that came along with it. But I also think about like the little micro changes, even.
Mhm.
We as humans shed our dead skin cells every single day.
Yeah.
It's not like a big process, kind of like a snake.
Mhm.
But bet you if you don't shower for 3 days and then you try and shower and you dry off and you don't really bathe as well as you should have, you will see those skin
Oh,
cells,
flakes.
like, beating up. And
Yeah.
so, there were a lot of, like, really small, steady changes that were happening throughout the year
Mhm.
that I think those took the bigger time for, like, introspection than the bigger changes did. Like, the big changes of moving or having a new job or starting a new school.
Mm.
I started several new jobs during that time
Yeah.
last year. All of those, I think those big changes, like, you can kind of figure out what to expect from them. Like, you can research moving companies, you've got a realtor to help you find different places to stay. Like, those are things that I think we already kind of have a system in place for, like, I need to do this thing. Like, let me go through this checklist. But I think some of the smaller changes that happen, like, I'm not even still ready to even acknowledge all of those things. Like, they're still coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I was really like doing that, or I was really going through that. And like, you don't really see it the same way every because it's happening every single day on a smaller level. It's kind of just like, even with my kids, I don't notice how tall they've grown, until they put on those pants, and I'm like, "Ooh, it's time for you to get new pants,"
It's
because
time.
I see them every single day, but, like, when my parents come and they're like, "Oh my gosh, how tall you've grown," because they haven't seen that micro change every single day.
Mm.
So, I just know that, like, yes, there were some huge physical outer changes, but I know that, like, internally, a lot of small things have happened, small adjustments in how I think about myself,
Mhm.
how I am going towards the goals that I wanted or changing those goals. Like there's just been a lot of little small dead skin cells
Yeah.
that have been coming off throughout the year.
Yeah. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. It like the snake's process is very natural and very organic. Like I feel like my shedding process has also felt very organic. And it's
Hmm.
started on a mental level,
Yeah.
adjusting the like you said, the way I see myself or the way I go about doing certain things. It's like reconditioning my mental and having that meet how I live in the physical world. And for me, a lot of that's been big financial adjustments and spending habits and just even the way I view money
Hmm.
or how I allow money to affect me emotionally. I've done a
Hmm.
lot of that inner work to then make those outer changes. And I've been really happy to see how things have improved,
Yeah.
and just those day-to-day spending habits even. The little bit
Hmm.
that I'm choosing not to spend is really helping my bigger financial goals.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna keep going at that. And I'm really excited about it. Like, that's, like,
Yeah.
been the biggest thing. It's, like, just how money or the lack mindset or the lack of abundance and resources has affected me. Like, I've just really shifted my perspective and how I wanna start viewing money or having a relationship with that, and it's all coming together, and I'm still working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's
well,
like the micro change
yeah.
every day.
Like, the beginning and the end, and that's the whole thing with the 9 and the snake, like, they overlap, and we can't think of them in the same way that we do time, like,
Yeah,
starting at this time, ending at this time. A lot of them overlap, sometimes it comes back, but it's like, hopefully when it comes back, it's in a different way, like, it's in a
yeah,
way that meets where you have learned from the first experience
yeah,
and not a repeat. But, yeah, it's hard because yeah, it is just like it's just an overlap.
mhm,
So, um, while things are like simultaneously ending, they're also starting.
yeah,
And so it's kind of tricky to pinpoint like, oh, this was definitive. This ended at that point. It's constantly going. And I think that's the same thing with the idea of the new year, like
yeah,
whether it's How we start our new year is like 2025 going to 2026 in January, or, sometimes we've got springtime people for starting the new year,
Yeah,
birthday people for the new year, Chinese astrology for the new year. But the fact of the matter is, at least to me, the new year starts whenever your intention has started. And so
absolutely.
it's just like constant. It's just constantly happening. But yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I found it interesting and like, just reading up on all of these systems and things and just even the energy of nine, like what really stood out to me was, it's the completion, from the previous seasons of life. So maybe this work has been these seeds have been planted,
Absolutely.
this
Yeah.
work has been put in over the years, which I really truly believe it has. Like I didn't just
Mhm.
look at the snake year
Exactly.
or this
Yeah.
2025 year and say like this is what I'm gonna start
Mhm.
implementing and getting to the next year to be at this stage of completion. Like, I've been putting in this work for years, maybe even
For
over
sure.
a decade.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then, we had with the snake year, it was a wood snake year. And to more speak to that the elemental quality of that, wood energy is very grounding.
Yes.
So I felt very grounded in my steps. I felt very present with how I was thinking about things, and I wasn't moving fast toward certain goals or certain ways I was implementing things. I really was being really patient with my process. It was a big year of self growth, and that's really what the energy of wood really supports us in, and how we nurture either
Mhm.
ourselves, the people around us, or our dreams and our goals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
really did love reflecting on this year because 'cause I'm like, wow, like, I think we've all been in this for a while.
Mhm.
So, I
Yeah.
am looking forward to how we're gonna take that energy and use it to serve us into
Mhm.
this new year that we are currently in and moving towards.
And I
Um
think it's a good way to look at change too. Like, we think about change, we think about transformation, we think about chaos. And
Mhm.
well, at least for me, I should say, when I think of those words, they tend to like move quickly. It's a quick cycle, it's moving, but it was actually a very slow, like, when we got to December 2025, I wasn't like, whoa, this year went by fast. I didn't say
Yeah.
that at all.
No.
It felt like a really, like, that year took its time and a
It did.
lot unfolded during
Yeah.
that time. But it took its time.
And we had a lot to look at.
Yeah.
And just be like, "Oh my gosh, all this stuff is happening." It's like, let me look at each thing that's happening and figure out, like, how is this impacting me? Like,
Yeah.
how do I wanna use this energy and this information to help me continue to process, not just kinda, like, blow over it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just speaking more to that, like, that inward reflection, 9 is also represented by the archetype of the hermit, which is
Yeah.
something that you can
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
relate to as a 9.
Planned indeed.
Yes, absolutely. Self-reflection, introspection, contemplation, withdrawal, and solitude. The archetype really reminds us to, quiet the outside noise, receive the information, look at what's happening, but take some time to eliminate those distractions and then use that information and to go quietly inside of yourself and find the clarity that exists within ourselves. So
Mhm.
I love the hermit. I love that it was a hermit year because girl, I'm tired. And as an only child, as you know, like we love our alone time. It
Mhm.
really does serve us. And I really worked a lot with that energy this year. And I think all of these themes tied really beautifully together. The snake, the hermit, and the energy of nine all really harmoniously worked.
Yeah, and the
Well
earth,
in
I
my
don't think you
favor.
said that one. But yeah, all very grounding, very retrospective, very shedding and awakening, but also I think with the hermit, because it's not like just about the alone time, but it's like what happens in that.
Yeah.
It's like you find truths are revealed to you in that quiet space, and
Yes.
um it's like just as much recharge as it is reflecting and
Mhm.
listening to kind of the things that are going on externally and internally. I will say though, I also had like a personal year 3 during that year 9.
You had a year 3. Okay. Got you.
So I think, like, with all those new things that were happening, I was just really welcoming to that because I was just in a creative space. I was just like,
Mm.
"Cool, I'll try it. I'll try it." There's actually things that I said yes to last year that are affecting this year that I wish I hadn't said yes to. They were like this damn pageant.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I was just trying stuff, and I was just like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll do it, I'll do it." I was just in the energy of, just trying out stuff, just, like, seeing what happens. Um, but to go back into the hermit, what I will say too is, like, that recharge and that reflection also shows you that there's just more than one way to do things, and I think, like, this energy that I'm in now, which we'll get into, is definitely more pointed and more directed, but like last year, I was just very much like, there are many means to an end, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Um, and so when those truths were being revealed to me, or when I was finding that either maybe something wasn't working or I needed to adjust, it was like no big deal.
Mhm.
I was just really a free spirit. I was just like, okay, whatever. Like we'll pivot. Um,
Like,
but
finding creative ways to
yeah,
move through the
yeah,
yeah.
to keep it going. But definitely all of that has culminated into a different energy for this year, and, I don't want to lose that momentum or not take advantage of the lessons that I've learned
Mhm.
going forward. But, yeah, I think the biggest I guess, just to give, like, a specific example, was just a lot work-wise, and my artistry and really like just going for it and not
Mm.
being in a place of like overthinking it or over planning it, but just going for it, just enjoying it, just trying out different things. It was a fun time.
Yes, I hear you, I hear you. Yeah, okay, so you were in a 3-year. Okay, I love that, and I love to just kind of work with how your personal year, you know, integrates with the collective year. For me, it was a year 6,
Hmm.
all about, like, love and harmony and care and selflessness and nurturing the self and your loved ones, and as you know, my mom was going through her cancer journey, so I was, like, right there for her, planned to take her to her treatments on days that I normally had off, but I was available to her,
Hmm.
just really showing up in a way, like, I'd never thought I'd have to do so soon for her.
Hmm.
But, I was connected to my heart. I was connected to, I was just really letting go of, some of the tense dynamics that maybe me and my mom used to have. Like, all of that was really starting to melt away because she needed me.
Right.
She needed her daughter who needed to show up for her. And so all of those resentments started to melt away. Like, I was shedding
Yeah.
in service to my mom.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, even though you were service to someone else, and like, because a lot of times, love, like, yeah, self love is very important, but a lot of times we're using that heart space to care for others, protect other people, and so even though like that was a lot of external energy, like it still was a lot of inner reflection that happened. It was a lot of inner shedding that was happening, and I'm
How
sure
does that work? Oh, yeah.
yeah, needing time to recharge,
Yeah.
so that you could continue to, express that love and show up, and yeah,
Yeah. That's where
yeah,
the hermit was serving me. I was
yeah,
really aligned with that hermit energy of just going inward, reflecting on things, deciding
mhm,
how, maybe something that was getting on my nerves, like, is this gonna serve the greater purpose of how I need to show up
yeah,
right now? And just taking the time to care for myself, like pouring that love back into myself so that I could
mhm,
show up for the people around me that really needed my support this past
yeah,
year. So, yeah, it was a very soft, hard externally,
yeah,
but soft more internally, and I use that softness to pour back into my outside
mhm.
world, so
I feel like that earth element helped bring some of that softness because everything
absolutely.
wasn't, like, super fast paced,
Yes.
it just yeah, it helped that all the changes were kind of like a slow and steady thing.
Yes, that
I
really helped
mean, at the same
clarity.
time, it was never ending, but, like, it was slow and steady.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt this strength. I felt this
Mhm.
strength coming from somewhere, the strength of the nurturing energy that is inherently in me. It was coming to the forefront and it was allowing me to be strong for my mom when she couldn't.
Yeah.
And then I used that to be strong for myself. And so
Yeah.
like it really did serve for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And interestingly, as I've been doodling my notes and things, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I was in a 6 year and then we had a 9. It was giving yin yang
Yeah.
balance.
That's
I
kinda
love
cool.
that.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was really loving that. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, so that was our 2025. Like, what a year, but I think we have used that energy to the best of our abilities, personally and
Mhm.
collectively, and now we're in 2026, so we have a whole new cast of themes and archetypes to
Yeah.
work with.
Yeah.
So what's
So,
going on, Shannon? What kind of magic we working with for 2026?
let's see. Alright, so we've got our universal year, which I think there's so much to say because there's so many different things being said about the numbers.
Yeah.
We have our universal year technically as a 1. It's 2026. You get a 10, 1 plus 0, and it's a 1, and it's the magician year. Other ways that I've seen people kind of thinking about this new year is a year 5 because let me make sure like 2020 is 0, 1, 2, 3. My math isn't adding up right, but it's a 5, okay? And then I've heard them saying a 10.
A 10, yeah.
And, that would be like uh, to me, the beginning, like the super beginning, like the full beginning and the magician kind of co-creating.
Coming together,
And
yes.
that just, to me, continues to speak to that idea that there's really no beginning and there's no end. Like they
Yeah.
continue to overlap. But to me, that just shows the true magicianship of the year because
Mhm.
magicians, you think you're seeing something over here, but then they're really moving over here. And the fact that there are so many different ways of seeing this year numerically, to me,
Yeah.
just shows magician energy.
That's awesome. That's a great point of view. I love that.
Yeah, she's a tricky one,
She is a tricky one.
which I love. But I'm getting into the magician. But yeah, so year one can often be thought of as beginnings, but they're not like new beginnings because
Mm,
you've already gone through the naive stage. Like you're no longer just wondering or prancing about or having a good time. You're really channeling now that energy. You're
yes.
channeling all those things that we've self-reflected on, that those things that were coming up for us that we sat there and we really chewed on. It's like now is no longer the time to kind of keep wondering and asking those questions. It's just time to act on it. It's just time to have the confidence to just go forward and do the damn thing.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's just kind of how I see one. I know that tarot, we love the magician card, but are there any insights for you that you feel like the one, or do you see it more as the 10?
I love working with the one energy. I'm I think also because, you'll get into more of like the elemental and the Chinese astrology of it all. But I'm loving this one energy because not in a way that we're like you said, we're not starting from the very beginning, but I'm kind of visualizing it as like we've just come out of this snake year, we've shed, shed, shed. We have all of these lessons and all of these previous seasons of life. And now we're just kind of like now channeling what we have on a new path, not like a
Mhm.
completely fresh path, but like a new path with what we've taken from that 9 year. And then I think about, you know, the first sign of the zodiac, that Aries energy, that
Mhm.
independence, that initiating and charging forward with the information that we've collected from the past and those previous
Mhm.
cycles, and like just charging ahead with what we've learned and what we've gathered on a new path. So
Yeah.
I like the one energy for that.
Yeah, and the magician is holding the wand, so
Yeah.
it's all energy, it's all movement, and yeah, that fire is
Initiation.
speaking to Aries. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I kind of like the idea of the 10. That's something that was new to me that I just was kind of seeing this time around. But I kind of like the idea of it because it's kind of like what are the numbers like 22s and 11s and
Oh, the master number.
yeah, it kind of like to me is like a master number of the year.
Mhm.
And also we don't really have a year 0 recognized, like, it always
Mm.
goes from 1 to 9, so I like the idea of this 10 is really, like, bringing in some of that full energy, but
Mhm.
also, like, prepared to transform it. Like, you're not
Yeah.
fully living in the full, but that energy is there because you kind of you don't wanna just get rid of those lessons. You don't want to get rid of the idea of newness or trying new things
Right.
or learning new things. Like you still want that energy there, but it's with the purpose of transforming. It's not with the purpose of idling.
Yes.
It's not really like reflecting on anymore. It's like with the purpose of helping the transformation happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think the video that I sent you, or a video that I came across, they were saying like for it being like a 10, it was like the new beginnings with the help of the universe, which could be represented by the zero. So it's that divine co-creation with
Mhm.
your magician energy coming together,
Mhm.
or initiator energy coming together. How are you using the support of the universe to help you channel this magic and this
Yeah.
energy as you move forward? So,
Yeah.
yeah, all of these things that we can take from and apply them in a way that feels good for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Individually.
And I mean, to me, yes, it's still a one. But to me, the idea, the fact that there are all these different angles to me is just very much a magician energy. It's maybe 100 different ways to say kind of the same thing, really, that's
Mhm.
happening, but it speaks to you maybe in a different way or a different language.
Yeah.
But we're coming back to that same source. And just to clarify, so what I was trying to say is 2026 is 6, not 5,
Mhm.
because you have 2020 as a 0.
Right, right.
And then and when you think of it like that, like 2020 to 2029, then you get that 0 energy,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but then it could also be seen as the 10, like 2030 could be seen as a 0, but it could be seen as a 10.
Mhm.
But either way, being a 6, I think, we were talking about the love and the community, and I think going from a year 9 and kind of the humanitarian part of it, I think the love
Yeah,
piece is pretty important this year
yeah.
around as well. We're over the halfway point when you think about 0 through 10.
Mhm.
And so to me, like those first 5 years or 6 years, because like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then the 0 is the 6. Okay. So those first 6 years are like we said, like none of this stuff is just happening all of a sudden. Like it has been built up and it's been a lot of work. And I think we've reached the top of the hill and we're coming down on the other side, so to speak. And that's just like that momentum. You're going downhill. Things are moving. It's fire, it's energy, it's
Mhm.
movement, it's transformation. And but in order to go downhill, it's because you went up. So
Yeah,
all of that serves you as you transform. But
yeah,
alright.
yeah, and this past year really had us be introspective and self-reflective and think about, like, this all of the things that we're seeing, all the things that are happening around us, like, thinking more so how are and contemplating how are we gonna use this for the betterment of ourselves or our communities. But
Yeah.
now I feel like this year is calling us to, like, really embody that and channel
Mhm.
it through how we show up. not
Yeah.
just thinking about it and reflecting on it, but just like how are we gonna like embody the changes that we want to see and how are we gonna use the love in our hearts or our resources to help ourselves and help the people by helping ourselves help the people around us. How are we gonna really
Yeah.
embody that and channel that through our beingness, in the world?
And it's more than just last year. I mean, like, since 2020, like, we've had
Yeah,
COVID and, like, it's just been, like, thing after
guilty.
thing after thing. Yeah, and I really feel like this is the shift now, the
Yeah.
transformation of the magician is like, okay, we went through all these things. Let's
Mhm.
take these lessons, let's take these things that we've learned. And in this last year, we really had a lot of reflecting on it, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep, and it's different,
and
really.
yeah, and it's time to like really move with that, which is
Yeah.
exciting. And speaking of movement,
Moving on.
Chinese astrology, we've got the horse, right?
Hey,
So
giddy up.
we're moving into the new year of the horse. And again, like I said, when I think of snakes, immediately think of transformation or like shedding of the skin. When I think of horses, first of all, I think of this girl named Jessica that I knew in the fourth grade.
Just do I know that name? That one sounds familiar.
She was such a sweet kid and she loved horses. She loved them. And she kind of looked like a horse, and it was nothing that I ever wanted to say as a kid because I knew it would sound like an insult, but I really didn't mean it like she just gave horse energy, like to the point she kind of looked like one to me. But like seriously, whenever I think of horses, I think of her. But I
Oh,
also think of like amazing stories about horses and just how dependable they are and how
yeah.
humans have used them like before we had carts and buggies and cars, like we were riding horses to take us places, or
Mhm.
the symbolism of like the horse that doesn't want to be tamed.
Yeah,
And just overall, I guess when I think of horses, I think of freedom,
right, yeah,
and just like really wanting to be free. um, yeah. Is
yeah.
that what you're feeling like this horse energy is going to bring, or what are you looking forward to or taking from the horse?
Yeah, the wildness, the freedom, the unrestraint, like, whenever I think of horses, I always picture them galloping across a field,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's just the
Like
wind.
happy.
Yeah, and also, like, I rarely have seen depictions of them riding off by themselves, like, they're also, like, very communal, collect
Mhm.
pack, I don't know, herd,
Yeah.
always in a herd of some sort, so I love that energy. But really,
Mhm.
the forward momentum, I think I'm excited about, like, I'm going more into a personal year 7, which is not gonna be super active,
Okay.
but I still feel like the things that I have been building behind the scenes are going to take some momentum. A lot more of that spiritual energy is going to be kind of like
Mhm.
in my world, but I do see myself moving forward on some things that I've kind of let lie still for a little while and I'm ready
Mhm.
to run free with them a little bit, let myself
Yeah.
explore. I will say more of that exploratory energy
Yeah.
um from the horse. So
And I guess like how they can tie in even with the 7 and the horse is just like, to me, a horse is just a reliable movement. So it doesn't necessarily have to be super fast,
yeah.
but it's reliable. It's consistently moving. And
Yes.
but then we have like the fire horse. So that's the
Yes.
element part of it is the fire piece. And again, like it's just funny they all line up, you know?
Mhm.
uh we're looking at change. I mean, fire is literally the change element. Um
Yeah.
you don't get a new forest unless the old one burns down, and it nature does it itself. Like those fires happen on its own. It's not always like Smokey the Bear, I think is.
Yeah.
So it just is a natural process, and like for things to burn down to be built back up, which is very different, I think, than the energy of shedding skin because they're both a transformation, but it happens very differently.
There's a purification that comes
Yeah.
with that fire energy too. It's like there's some destruction happening, but it's infusing new life. I think of a phoenix
Mhm.
and what that
Mhm.
sense, like new life is being reborn from this thing and might maybe hold the essence of what's
Mhm,
been there. It's still going to be a phoenix, but it's coming with new life and new magic to
mhm,
share after this death process.
yeah. And I think too with fire, and I think with horses even too, they kind of challenge us, like,
Mm,
um Earth is very steady, very calm. I think we were talking kind of about that softness, but like fire is just like, you hold your hand over fire, you gotta move, like you're being challenged to do
mhm.
something differently. I think if you don't come to a horse with the respect that it deserves, it's
Yep.
gonna challenge you as well. You're not gonna ever be able to tame it, so to speak,
Yep.
if you don't do the things that you're supposed to be doing. So I do like that part of the fire that uh that it challenges us to also continue to move forward.
That
But
spark.
we've got
Spark.
fire energy, we've got force energy, and I'm in a personal year 4,
Mm,
which is still more like of a earth energy, very slow,
yes.
very steady. Also, my Taurus, side of me, just very slow and steady,
Mhm.
stubborn. I think horses can be kinda stubborn too.
Yeah,
Um,
'cause I don't want to be
but
tamed. Yeah.
I recognize that this year is going to have a lot of self-care, I think.
Mm,
Because I'm going to be required to do a lot of movement. It's just necessary. Like I said, I just went through so much internally last year, and I don't want that to be for naught. I don't want to sleep on those lessons. I don't want to sweep them under the rug. I'm fully ready to activate and embody those things.
mm.
But in order to keep that momentum going, I know I'm gonna need, like, to some grounding, a lot of grounding going on as well. So, like, family, understanding, like we kind of talked about, slow and steady, just because it's constant movement does not mean it has to be fast as lightning.
Right. Right.
So, just, like, understanding how those 2 sides are going to work together, and not letting yourself get burnt out, essentially.
That part. That's
Yeah.
a beautiful reminder and something that I have been consciously unlearning over these past few years as well, especially being a human design projector, not meant to do all the time. So yeah, girl, even though we're meant to be picking up momentum, it doesn't always mean speed
Yeah.
because that will lead to burnout. It's just being
Yeah.
very mindful of that.
Yeah. But it's definitely a moving energy to be expected,
Yeah.
and I hope collectively people really feel that energy and feel moved to act on the lessons and the things that they've learned in the
Mhm.
past over the
Mhm.
past few years. So,
Like work wise, not necessarily hard sometimes. Like be smart about it. Be creative about
mhm,
your movements. Doesn't always have to be about speed.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
strength.
and
But I mean, strength can
yeah,
look different in different ways.
yeah,
It's soft strength,
yeah,
good strength. So yeah,
mhm.
I like that.
Um,
You
I
know.
know too that, like, oh, I lost it. I was gonna say with strength. I even think about the little baby trees that are getting blown around in the wind and they're like bending all the way back and forth, but they're not breaking. And they're
Yeah.
very fragile, but there's still strength to it. And it doesn't mean that they're not bending. It doesn't mean that they're not moving, but they're not breaking. And I think that's the difference. Oh, that's what I was gonna say with fire. So I also kind of looked into the organs, because like with Chinese medicine, the different organs of your body are associated with the different elements. And so like the heart is part of
Mm,
fire. I believe the stomach and the liver, and there were probably some more, but those were the 3 that I definitely remember. So just like really taking some time to, I think, as I think of the kind of self-care that I'll need this year, drinking teas that are good for circulation and the blood system, being mindful of what I'm eating, exercising. Like, I just feel like those are things I'm going to really need to lean on this year to like really keep going.
yeah.
Um, And I'm just glad to know that ahead of time and not like wait till I get to that point of burnout and being like, "Ah, I need to adjust now." But like knowing that this is going to be an active season, like, because it's not even just this year. I think next year will be a fire goat. Like it's more fire
Oh, really?
energy to come. Yeah.
Okay.
So really like taking advantage of that, but I don't want to be in the rat race. I don't want to be like, yeah. So just still finding ways to like take care of myself and maybe those specific parts of me, like energetically the heart, not even just like a physical whatever I'm eating or drinking. But yeah.
I'm right there with you. I really have been slacking on the physical part of my wellness, and I've been wanting to be more active in this fire year as far as like taking care of my physical health, taking care of my heart, maybe doing more cardio. So, yeah, I cuz I mean, we're still young spiritually, but physically like I really have to be better in that department. So that's definitely on my intentions list for
Yeah.
year and working with this energy, this elemental energy and these themes, girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And just yeah, just inspired to speaking of the heart, just tapping back into my heart work. Like I really kind of have gotten away from my spiritual practices and I've been working behind the scenes on my coaching and my offerings, my spiritual offerings, and I'm excited to get back into that and just
Mhm.
tap back into my heart work, like the thing
Mhm.
passionate, fire is passion. It's that exciting passionate energy that we channel through our heart space,
Yeah.
the that we love, the things that make us excited and deeply fulfilled.
Mhm.
Now that I kind of know how I want to work with and be more of service to my communities, I'm feeling newly inspired to connect back to those services and those offerings that I've been nurturing and tending to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am so
Yeah, like, doing all that internal work, all that
yes,
internal, because we know how important it is, especially when you are doing hard work to, like, check in with yourself. So, a lot of times, it feels like those things are moving slowly, but really there's just so much internally that we need to take care of before we're
yeah,
able to serve others. So, it just
exactly.
makes sense. It makes sense that you've been spending this time and I think really culminating, like, in that brimming year of, like, that
Yeah.
real final introspection, and now it's time to just do with it what you will
Yes, exactly.
and be confident in it. I really just don't see fire as super inquisitive. Like I just don't think it's the time to be asking questions. It's just the time to trust your gut and just go
Yeah.
for it. And the stomach, fire. So yeah,
Yep.
trust
And
your gut. Yeah.
that's right. Awesome. I'm excited.
Mhm.
Is anything else about these themes for 2026 that you want to share or illuminate for us?
I don't think so. I think we touched on everything. Is there anything for you?
Yeah, I I think when we were, discussing, how this was gonna go and, really the energy of the magician year, like, really stood out to me most, and I just think a good takeaway is just to really be your own magician, like, use
Mm.
the lessons, use everything that we've been reflecting on, you've been reflecting on, whether it was just last year or the past few years, to just embody that, channel
Yeah.
that, be the magician, create the life you want, create and inspire the people around you to be the people that they came in this life to be. I think we can all do a service to each other by showing up and making magic in our own lives will inspire the people around us to figure out how they want to contribute that for themselves or the world or their communities around them as well. So I'm
Yeah.
using it as like a main theme.
Yeah.
Magician.
I guess for me then to add to being your own magician, my words of wisdom would be, you don't have to show all your cards.
That's true,
You
absolutely,
know? Keep some
absolutely.
of them close to your heart.
Keep them close to your heart, absolutely. I was thinking about, just this personal year that I'm stepping into on, we all have our personal, numerology for each birthday year to the next
Mhm.
birthday year. Um, and mine is mind and my magic. I'm going into the 7 year. It's going to be still some introspection or just more some spiritual exploration and wanting to integrate that. But I'm going to be minding my magic, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to be minding that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
my magician might be, um, more of a juggler, but,
Hmm.
uh, you know, I think as long as I take care of myself, it should be okay, though.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that. I love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for me. Like I'm excited. I'm already feeling excited and inspired by these new elements that are coming into play and already this magician energy or this 10 energy, like all of these things that we're talking about, like they're all starting to show up now. And I've just been, minding, I'm already minding my magic, girl. I've been making my
Yeah.
little plans,
Yeah.
integrating my lessons from last year, and I'm just ready to move forward with steady momentum.
Yeah. I think a big part for me is the organizing part. I think
Mhm.
because I spent so much time in free flow last year, which was fantastic, but,
Mm. Yes.
I definitely need the organization to help me, carry through with the energy consistently this year.
Mm,
And
mm.
it's gonna start in this room. I don't wanna
One
do it,
piece
but
at a time.
I know that it's gonna open up and unlock so much creativity
Yeah,
when I clean up this space, but man, I don't wanna do it.
that's that North Star, that's that beacon of light. Yes.
Yeah,
More creativity will flow from that.
yeah. Right now, the chakras are blocked in here.
One chakra at a time, girl, you got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, thank
Let's see.
you.
Did you have any, oh, I guess am I stealing your question?
No,
Magic
go for it,
words,
go for it.
mantras, or spells or anything that you're looking to cast or kind of hold in the back of your mind as you move through this year?
Yeah, just that be your own magician. I think a lot too of what I've been kind of moving away from shedding is, like, me relying on other people or thinking that I need certain types of people in my circle,
Mhm,
especially in the creative space. Like, I haven't been recording, writing, doing a lot in the music sector. I've been kind of stepping back to say, like, okay, all of my magic doesn't need to be channeled through this one source of expression and just being
mhm,
a music artist. There's so much more to my creative magic that I want to share. And so even coming into the Substack space and just tapping back into the love of writing that was, like,
mhm,
really at the foundation
mhm,
as a music artist, like, and that's just been all me, and it's been, like, such a homecoming, and just really stepping away from people that I used to work with that, like, really weren't serving me when I really had that magic inside of me all along. Not to say, like,
mhm,
I can do it all myself,
mhm.
but there's a lot that I can do myself that I didn't need other people to do,
Yeah, yeah.
and it got me off track. So I'm just coming back to channeling and embodying all of the magic that I kind of relied on other people to validate in me. I'm coming
Mhm,
to embodying that for myself. So that's kind
mhm.
of who I am. Just be your own magician, girl. You got this.
When I think of, like, when you said, not necessarily that I have to do it all on my own, but I think, like, the shift or the difference is perhaps a magician can even be, like, the ringleader of the circle. It's more like, yeah, you do need this community and you do need these people, but it's more like it's your discretion. And,
Yes.
like, you kind of pointing out when and where the time is needed as opposed to, like, depending on them to carry you, because 'cause you're the leader, you're the
Yeah,
magician, and yeah, it's up to
absolutely.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that one energy is the leader, the initiator. I could be self-directed, but I'm also good at delegating. I'm also good at
Sure.
guiding
Yeah.
as a projector, especially guiding others and just saying,
Mhm.
like, this is what I know I want for myself. If you can help me, great, but this is what I need, and either you meet me where I am or
Yeah.
then I'll
Yeah.
find another way to channel
There are
that.
many ways. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I don't
Very
know that I have
empowering.
anything specifically that I'm thinking of. I think I'm tapped out at this point because I'm just thinking jokes. Like I'm like Leviosa.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I think I'm
blink, blink,
done.
blink.
There we go.
There we go. I got my magician wand right here.
I'm like no longer being serious. I don't know.
I think we got it. I think we got
Yeah.
I mean, as Mystic Sisters, we've been sharing so much with each other, but again, it's really nice to just catch up with you through this lens, just kind of like reflecting with each other and sharing things that we've learned. It's, always inspiring to just have a space to share.
Yeah. Yeah. I love being able to think of the kind of the symbolism and the energies in different ways. Like, I already had my own idea of how things were, but listening to the way you explain things or the way that you see these energies, I love that. It just expands my space and mind as opposed to like, there's no, oh, I was wrong about this. It just expands. It just
Yeah.
expands. And I like learning those new things.
I love that. This is, yeah, Treasure House, Mystic Sister conversations. We're here to express and expand. I love that.
For sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. You.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you could tell these are horses.
Oh my God, are they?
Like, there we go.
Y'all can
The
tell.
camera is moving. There we go.
I was wearing snakes because I
Yeah.
talked about the snake energy, and she came with the horse. I love
Yeah.
that. You surprised me. I love it.
The horses and of course the necklace.
So for the holidays, I picked these up in a shop in Provincetown, and I gifted these are my version of a friendship bracelet, friendship necklace.
Mhm.
I have an A, and Shannon has an S.
Yeah.
Yay!
So yeah, I
Bestie.
just wanted to point that out. When we were talking about the outfits and I waited till I got up this morning, but I saw this. I was like, "Oh, yeah,
Perfect. I
horses."
love yes, so on theme. I love it. Great surprise.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Alrighty.
that's it for me. Any closing words? Like, I mean, for those who are joining, I'm pretty sure this is gonna go straight to YouTube. I'm really hoping it does what it did last time. So
Okay.
if anyone is finding us on YouTube, I will link our Substack because that's where we are broadcasting from. We're still on
Mhm.
Instagram. And yeah, that's the all the need to knows for where
Yeah. So yeah, find us, follow us, participate in the conversation. We'd love to know what your personal year is or
Mhm.
what your thoughts are on the energies that are coming up or maybe what your experiences were in the past. But
Yes.
yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be initiating some new things on the Substack space. Like we've been doing a lot of blog writing and like resharing old topics that we've loved talking about in the past. But maybe I know I have some plans. You'll be seeing some new things pop up on our Substack space this
Yeah,
year.
cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you have a glorious day and anyone joining us or will join us later. Thank you for being here and sharing. And we appreciate you. And until
Yeah.
next time.
Till next time.
Peace and love
Woo.
and magic.
Yes. Magic.
Woo.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.